I used to say folks, but obviously I'm the only person that on YouTube has a negative, right? I used to have 16, now it's down to -4. People are detracting and staying away from me in droves. Yeah. Can you blame them? I mean, let's face it. Look at us. We're just two old, wonderful human beings who just enjoy life. What's wrong with that? That's what I want to know. Holy crap. You know, usually when she comes down here, she's always got a heart on. I don't mean, I didn't mean that. Yes, you do. You know, for something or somebody, it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning and we're going to do this and we're going to do it now. Now it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I just came back from the store. Now, I want you folks to notice this right here. This is known as seduction. It really is. It's seduction. And now, if yeah, the name of this little sequel is going to be Defending the Fact. Not complicated. Nothing, you know, tricky about it. I am going to defend the people who like to eat. And the reason I'm doing that is because too long we've been looking in our society for the past, 20, 25 years. You know, the old saying about thin may be in, but fat's where it's at, right? Have you ever seen a real thin person who enjoyed life? No, I can't eat that. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do anything. Well, what the heck is going on here, right? You're what, pushing 80, and I'm dragging 73. And what's wrong with that? Is fat where it's at? Obviously it is, so I'm going to defend that because she's been putting down obese people, haven't you? It was one of your big problems. Well,
now you're standing up for them?
No, I said I'm defending them. I'm not. I'm sitting. You can't stand up for fat people because the fat people can't stand up, for God's sake, because they're too fat.
I thought you were going to call this shooting a moan is where it's at.
Well, it is. See, she told me, just don't ever bring any more of those into my apartment. And so I decided, well, I'll just do it and see what happens. Well, guess what happens? This is what happens, folks. I have to tell you this, but no. I like it myself. I just bought them for myself, so they're delicious. Fortunately, and I do mean fortunately, that we can't see what's going on in the camera here. Hopefully, hopefully, nothing's going on
I hope
there.
something comes on there.
Well. Now, I think one of the things about when you're talking about defending fat people, and the other people have ever actually watched this horrible geezer channel or her channel, you always see me doing this, right? Yeah. Well, I think if you're going to talk about fat people, you have food in your mouth. You have to say, well, honey, I love you, but I think you're eating my lip, but I'm not sure. But did I got a piece of my lip in your mouth there? You got to be very careful by kissing a person who is definitely in here to eat. Now, I have nothing against eating. In fact, I eat to live. This woman over here, it's more like live to eat. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, as far as I'm concerned. I don't live to drink, all right? I drink, I beg your pardon? Did you fart?
You drink to what?
I said, I don't drink to live, okay?
You live to drink, right?
See, she's supposed to keep her mouth shut as long as possible. That's not bad. It's been almost 2 minutes. So here's what I'm trying to get through. I defend people who have nothing more in their lives than to eat. And again, go back to it. It's a defense against sex. If you don't get enough sex, then you eat. So, do you ever see a real sexy fat guy? I mean, besides Andy Devine, of course, everybody knows he was sexy as hell. See, your dad, as you remember, he wasn't overweight. And your mom, well, that's a whole different story.
What about your mother and dad?
My mother never went over 130 in her life. My dad was actually a little thinner than I am right now at 84. Now, the reason I wanted to do this is because I just bought some... I called her on the phone earlier. I'm going to get some chili limon. She says, "Oh, don't do that. You're going to just... I'll be worried about that all the time." And you said that on the phone, right? Well, you got some blueberry stuff. That looks good for breakfast tomorrow, doesn't it? And so, I just want to say that in my whole life, I've never known, up till now, any woman that is so captivating and so lovely. Will you let me finish this, please? And so endearing to me that it was just a little overweight. All right, now most of the women in my life have never been anything but normal. So when I decided to say, you know, like thin may be in, right? My track record's not too good with thin women, is it?
That's for you to say, since I wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, but you've been here for 6 years, so my track record isn't all that good either. For like women who it's a little on the big bone side, shall we say. So I think probably I should have married somebody that was a little bigger boned, you know, and
Instead of going for the cheerleader type, right?
Oh, well, that's true. That's true. But you know, most of the cheerleaders that I know.
You should have checked out their IQs too.
For God's sake, what are you talking about? You think a Dallas cheerleader for the Cowboys is going to check their IQs? Oh yeah, let me check that IQ. Well, just open up that chest there and let me see that. Yeah, that looks like a good 44 to me.
Well, didn't you say that her IQ made it difficult for you to reason with her?
Which one?
The first one, of course.
Okay, now we're getting back to defending men who are overweight. Now, I just don't know how to defend that. I really don't. How many guys have you ever messed around with, and I mean messed around with, who have been quantitatively overweight?
I had one that was a genuine foodaholic. He could
I didn't
gain
say that.
50 pounds, and then he would go on a crash diet.
You're not dating Oprah Winfrey here, okay?
Yeah, but I love that guy. He was very sexy. He was, I felt this man, in fact, he rejected me. I don't even know why. Maybe he didn't like overweight women. I don't know, but he rejected me, so kind of broke my heart. And he was a overweight
Well, how
guy.
old were you when that happened?
Oh, I was up in my 30s, 40s.
Well, there's a 10-year gap there. Either you were 30 or 40.
Overweight.
Yes, and how old was he? 22?
About my age. I was just mad for him. So there are overweight guys that are very, very appealing, but he really was tortured by his
here's one of the things that I don't understand.
Food addiction.
Excuse me. Here's one of the things I don't understand. Of all of the men and guys and kids that I grew up with, none of them were overweight. I guess for the simple reason is I didn't hang out with guys who were overweight and are addicted to food or whatever it was, or most of us Germans, don't get overly addicted to food. Nobody in my family was fat. Nobody of my friends were fat. I'm sorry about using the word fat, but this whole thing may not be working at all. I have no idea. All I'm saying is blank, so, it could be blank.
Wow.
This camera's getting as old as I am, What is this thing now, 5 years old? It costs $800 bucks or something like that. I'm trying to buy her out of the camera so I don't have to,
I won't have to share it with you.
No, right. She's still got $200 in it, so what the hell? No, I'm just saying that I don't know where you grew up.
Well, we had.
I think if you've got fat.
Good farm food.
If you
good farm.
No, wait a minute. If you've got fat people in your family, close to you, or your friends are fat, I think you have a tendency to do that. Hey, eat this, eat that, eat this.
I try to stay away from fat men, though. I think it'd be bad.
Well, I did too.
I think it'd be bad for me. We would probably eat ourselves to death.
Yeah, end up like Orson Welles, or
I generally try to get
Apocalypse
a thin
Now.
boyfriend, thinking that would rub off, and they would just sneer and sneer. So that didn't really work out too well either. Like you sneered at me this morning when we were walking.
What?
Well, you can't move that big buddy.
I did not say that.
What did you say?
I did not say that. Your problem is, the problem that I perceive it to be, is that you're getting hard of hearing and you only hear what you want to hear. Try to get her to get ears.
What did you say?
What does it cost? $1,000
You told
to
me
get
I
ears?
wasn't walking fast enough, and you know the reason.
Yes, I know the reason was.
Overweight.
Well, I didn't want to see any smoke coming in between your thighs there, Yes, we all know what she calls her favorite thighs, right?
He decided to start us early this morning because he'd stayed up late last night.
Yes, I did. I listened to music, and the reason I can do that is because you don't listen to music, right? Because you can't hear. Oh, what was that again? I didn't hear that again. So getting back to the fact that...
And of course he was sipping and sipping. For this morning, he was
No,
pretty
raw. Raw.
Oh, he just sipped?
No, I was drinking.
Oh.
See, there's a difference between sipping and a difference between drinking. Now, here's one of this guy used to have this big scroll on his bar, the back of the bar, or actually it's close to the bar. It said, it was big, it said, now I don't mind, if you get up in the morning and you have an eye opener or two, a Bloody Mary or 3 or 4.
Oh.
And then, if you take a little time off and you have a break, we have a couple beers for break, And then at lunchtime, if you have 2 or 3 cocktails, before that. I don't mind that. He said, and after that, you have a little, you know, maybe a short brandy, you know, and then in the afternoon, of course, you have to have a beer break, you know, so 2 or 3 beers in the afternoon. So he said, then you come to dinner if you want to have, you know, you might have a bottle of champagne, and then you might have a couple of drinks during dinner. And after dinner, of course, you're going to have brandy. And now, he said, but you employees, you gotta quit sipping all day.
Sipping.
You get it? You gotta quit sipping all day.
So he was drinking last night, not sipping. That's a bad.
That's true.
That's bad. He doesn't gulp. This morning you wouldn't even have been able to get up off the couch if you'd gulped.
Yes, but the point I'm trying to make here is that we really don't know if anything's happening here. And I kind of like it like that, you know? I mean, I might be the only one on screen, and she might be the only one eating. And Frito-Lay pays money for this.
Yeah, I'm going to stay halfway off the camera like you do.
How do you know you're not on camera?
I don't know, whether we are or not.
So what do you think about my defending women who are just...
it was a vigorous, convincing defense. I feel so much better now.
Well, you should. You know why?
Why?
Because I put up with you all of these years. You have not lost more than 2 ounces a year. Let's see. In 16 years, that'll be almost 2 pounds, right? Yeah. Oprah Winfrey can do better than that.
Oh, yeah, right.
But you know the nice
I don't know, the days are so long.
The nice thing about it is that...
There's so much time.
The nice thing about it is that I never get on your case about it, do you? I mean, do I ever say...
Not nearly.
Oh my God, you've been eating again, haven't you? You've been eating again.
No, he tries to get me to eat more. He said,
I do...
Have some chili limon. Have some.
Well, I told you I was going to hide him, but...
Well, today I'm having a bad day because I feel like I've been a victim so many years that never got justice. And now when I'm trying to get a little justice, I feel heavy. I feel a little guilty. And I'm thinking, you know, this must be how the police feel when they get that guy and they are ready to put him in jail for the rest of his life, or even... if that's the law. Hang him!
The police have nothing to do with that.
Well, I know, but the law does.
That's right.
And so I'm beginning to feel like, well, heavy. I don't feel that I did anything wrong. I'm just...
Then what's the problem?
Well, I'm just feeling heavy, you know, like I didn't know I would feel this way. You know, when you're an innocent victim who's never got any justice, you just feel...
Okay, folks, we're going to digress for a moment because I have no idea what the hell she's talking about. But obviously, it has something to do with overweight because she's feeling heavy, right?
I said heavy-hearted.
Oh, well, you didn't put heart in there, did you?
I've been in a fight,
I did not hear heavy-hearted.
I feel like I've got some good blows in other words. And now I'm just feeling heavy-hearted to think that I got some good blows in, even though I feel like that was the thing to do. You know, like it needed to be done. But I still feel heavy-hearted. But it'll pass, I hope.
I have a chili limon.
Because I'm sure you're getting tired of me being the poor victim that never got any justice.
I didn't know. I thought that's what I was. After knowing you for almost 6 years, you have ripped me apart and put me back together again, but the parts don't fit anymore. The parts just don't fit. I don't know what the hell it is, but...
Well, I got that from my mother. she regularly took my dad apart, you know, for his drinking.
Yeah, I know.
And I heard an awful lot of arguments, so they just come to mind, you know. They just spring up. Say that dirty, rotten, worthless.
Don't help me.
Can I go on?
Yeah, go ahead. Go on. Yeah, I'll tempt you. With the little girl wants some chili lemons.
What else can you say?
Some chili lemons.
You want me to say, you're a wonderful, upright citizen?
No, everybody knows that ain't true. That'd be a big hypocritical lie.
You just told me this morning that you were probably the worst egg in your family, but...
I did not say that. I don't even know what bad eggs are.
What?
We did not have chickens in our backyard.
He had a little problem with the egg thing.
A bad egg.
He gets annoyed, you know, with my country terms, but we had a lot of rotten eggs. For real, and so naturally we referred to rotten people as rotten eggs.
Oh, I thought it was bad egg.
Bad, rotten, you know, whatever.
Well, you just said bad. That's the first time you said rotten.
So,
I assume you would not make it very well in the Indonesian world where you got 1,000-year-old egg, right, when they stick it underground.
So whoa. I don't know. We've established now that I'm been eating pretty good for all my life. He's just likes a different substance, not food.
Well, see, the problem is there's no problem. I did not start drinking until I first got married, and that, as W.C. Fields says, you remember that? Yeah, my first wife drove me to drink, and I'll always be grateful for that. See, a lot of these people, they don't know what W.C.
yeah, he's got
Fields
so
was.
many little sayings like that that make him feel better, that justifies. And I don't know how I ended up eating, and he ended up.
Make sure you get this hat in here, because see, it is on right now, and you're in.
Okay. Well, I can't say anymore. I'm sorry.
I know. So, in defense of people who eat and have a metabolistic problem, you notice how I said that? That they can't throw off calories. I think that's not a problem. It's just one of those quirks of nature. Just like insanity.
A gland problem, no doubt.
Yes, just like insanity. If you don't know you've got it, then you don't know you got it, but everybody else knows you got it. So, you know, there's no big deal on that. So I just wanted to let you know that even though I do tempt you with
chili lemon.
Well, I told you, you only take a shot at Valentine's Day.
Okay! Is that it? I need to go home.
Oh.
Hurry up. This.
You don't want to watch it? Little girl want a potato chip. Little girl want a potato chip.
Okay.
See what I have to contend with, folks. I mean, thin maybe in, but that's where it's at, right?